What is up, awesome people? And welcome back to another Wi-Fi Wednesday shenanigans! And yes, shenanigans definitely did go down. As soon as you see the opponent's name is PIMP, you know shenanigans are gonna go down. So, this one was done on the live stream. We actually planned to do this one, and that was a Karen versus Karen team. I am not gonna let PIMP jump the gun and do a Karen team without being challenged by my own Karen team. So the whole dealio here was I was going to revamp my doubles team. I do actually have a Karen double team I have been meaning to upload, but I have something else that's preventing me from uploading it. So once that's done, I'll have all the Karen double VGC team uploads up for you guys because there are some awesome battles there. But basically, to get back to point, I had to revamp this team from a doubles scenario to a singles scenario. So I'm not even too sure if these strategies are going to work. So that was one thing. I know for a fact in doubles, the synergy is absolutely awesome. Even going to bring it back to 4th gen, rebreeding them there, and calibrating them for 4th generation. They're absolutely awesome. But without further ado, to just cut down on the dribbling, let's get into the shenanigans to see what went down. So as I said, this is a Karen versus Karen team. He was using the in-game gold-silver team, whereas I was using the Pokemon Stadium 2 round 2 Karen team. So he's going to lead with a Gengar here, and I leave my Electrode. Now, I wasn't really too sure what he was going to do. If this was the physical Gengar, I'm like, this choice band probably running Trick, so I went Taunt, and it went for the Shadow Claw instead, which is a definite OHKO there. I was running Aftermath there to do a bit of damage to a Pokemon if they did OHKO the Electrode, so that was kind of good. I did kind of put some damage into it, just in case it was like Focus Sash or anything, so apparently he was going to go for the Trick, but decided to go for Shadow Claw instead. So I'm like, it's definitely Choice Bandit because it is going to swap out there on the Persian that swaps in and goes to the Umbreon. So I went for Shadow Ball just in case it wasn't Choice or anything, and it was like a Life Orb. As I said, may have been Focus Sash as well, but judging from the swap, it is definitely Choice Bandit. So I can't do anything to this Umbreon because I am Choice Specs myself on that Persian. So I go into my own Umbreon thinking maybe he would go for a Dark type, maybe he could have gone for a Poison, and he went for the Toxic. So obviously I'm going to be running the normal Synchronize on the Umbreon, so I'm going to poison the opposing Umbreon, which is then going to try and Synchronize me, so a little loop going on there, but obviously it's going to end. So that was kind of cool. So we're both poison here. I'm like, oh, maybe this is just a tanky, toxic Moonlight, could be Wish, but no, it's got Mean Look, so I'm trapped in, so that's good, but at the same time bad. The strategy on my Umbreon was going to be a Yawn Pursuit Umbreon. Now, the opposing Umbreon does have the Rocky Helmet, so I'm like, that's not good because my two moves are Natural Gift and Pursuit. Now, the whole idea for Natural Gift was I was trying to try something out, and I thought, why not the best time to try out something would be up against Pimp, because if I tried this in an actual wild Pokemon battle to see if it actually worked, I would have actually eaten my berry in the process. At least in a Wi-Fi battle, I don't use the berry, and hey, it could have been interesting, it could have been lame, and it turned out to be lame. It didn't work the way that I thought it would. The way that I presumed Natural Gift was going to work, I would consume the berry, take its effect, and then deal damage as well. So it would have been a ground type Natural Gift, I think with like low base power, but as I said, it just was a fail. So I'm like, oh well, as I said, it could have been brilliant, but it just turned out to be really lame. So in the end, my Umbreon is going to go down. At the same time, there wasn't really much that I could really do to this Umbreon because, as I said, my only real reliable move was Pursuit. If I didn't go for the gimmick Natural Gift, I would have had Facade on that set, which would have been quite nasty for that Umbreon, even if I was running no attack investment. Anyways, I go into my Persian. I'm like, alright, let's go for Trick here so I can get the Rocky Helmet and get rid of my Specs. I kind of feel Specs won't be as handy because I do have a couple of moves I can use against this team, and I feel Persian can be quite handy. So this is a Technician Choice Specs Persian. Without it now, I'm a Rocky Helmet Persian, which actually turned out to be quite handy in the end because I dealt some Rocky Helmet damage to that Persian Umbreon, I do believe. And this Houndoom comes in, and because I'm running the Technician set, I've got Water Pulse on there, so for any ground type Pokemon or rock type Pokemon that want to come in, or even Houndooms in this case, and I got the Confusion. I'm like, sweet! Now it's going to hit itself in Confusion, and it does. So the Hacks is absolutely real in this battle at the moment. So Confusion again, it did go for the Sucker Punch there because it outsped me, and Confusion hits once again. I'm like, saved by the Hacks. Of course. And Houndoom goes down. So apparently that was like a tanky Houndoom with Howl, Flame Charge, Sucker Punch, and I'm not too sure what his last move was because he couldn't remember at the time of this discussion. So the Gengar comes in, Sucker Punch comes my way, and it's going to take out the Persian. Rocky Helmet damage there as well, so that's what I mean by the Rocky Helmet was quite handy for me. So next up is my Slowbro. Now, people are probably going to point out by this stage, yep, all my nicknames are Digimon names. I got a guilty pleasure from Digimon. I do enjoy my Digimon, but at the same time I was kind of trolling with my nicknames to try and digress from what my actual team was. So a lot of people thought mine was a Digimon team when in actual fact it was an actual Karen team as well. But anyways, I Mega Evolve into Mega Slowbro here, go for the Trick Room so I can get a bit of an advantage. This whole team actually relies on Trick Room, so to go this far out using Trick Room is kind of handy. So I go for the Skull thinking this might have been a physical Vileplume because I've seen so many Vileplume sets from Pimp, and it turned out it's a special set. So I'm like, oh no, that was not good. I got the burn on it at least, that was about one advantage, but even with max special defense, max health, that pedal dance was nasty. And I think it was a crit too. I'm not really too sure if that mattered. I got a funny feeling it might have. Anyways, I go for the Heat Wave here thinking maybe it was a defensive set. No, it wasn't. It was Assault Vested, which means it's going to live that pretty well. So if I went for the Drill Peck, I had a 50% chance to crit. And that crit definitely mattered on that pedal dance. So it means when the Gengar comes back in, it can knock me out with the Sucker Punch quite easily there. So I was like, oh man, that definitely mattered. Alright, so Drill Peck there to finish off the Vileplume. As I said, if I decided to go just for the plain stab straight off the bat, I could have even gone Night Slash. I think Night Slash could have come close to killing as well. That would have been 100% chance to crit. So the Gengar comes in, I'm like, I'm going to swap out here because there's definite Sucker Punch coming my way. And I go into my Misdreavus, predicting the Sucker Punch. So I know for a fact that this is choice banded. My Trick Room does wear off. So Gengar swaps out there and goes into his second last Pokemon, which is the Murkrow. I'm like, this is kind of good and bad at the same time because I have Dazzling Gleam to take out this Murkrow, and normally Murkrow to fix up a special defense, even with Everlight, it goes Carmine with Prankster. Dark Pulse off the bat there, I'm like, oh, it could still be a tanky set or it could be a sweeping set, but judging from the damage, I am Everlight with max defense, max special defense. Judging from the damage, it kind of gave away it was a sweeping set. So Dazzling Gleam there to take out the Murkrow, and the Gengar comes in. I'm like, this is not good because it can just go for Shadow Claw. Trick Room is not up as well, so if I decide to put the Trick Room up there, risking going for that and risking a crit as well on the Misdreavus, I probably could have turned around, but the thing was, I did it for some odd reason. Maybe it just jumped my mind at thinking it might have been just a defensive set or something. So that may be like one of my biggest misplays there was not going for Trick Room on the Misdreavus, because that actually could have made a bit of a difference on the battle now that I think about it. Oh well, there we go, retrospect always kicking in there. As I said, it's always easier to think in retrospect than actually in the battle, especially when it's on a live stream. But anyways guys, that is it for the battle. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, there was like a few misplays, but they were mainly mispredictions rather than misplays. The only real misplay there from me was, as I said, the Misdreavus. Electrode, as I said, Trick was actually a thing that could have happened. He was thinking about going for the Trick apparently, and he went Shadow Claw instead just in case. I did run Taunt, so that was a good play from him. Otherwise, I had foul play on that Electrode, which would have been an Oko. But also having said that as well, if I went foul play on that Gengar, it would have determined the game right there, since Gengar was kind of the Pokemon Pimp did have to heavily rely on. The other one that was a bit of a misprediction was thinking Vileplume was a physical attacker. As I said, I've got to think from every set that Pimp has used. He has used a physical Vileplume, he's used a special Vileplume, he's used a special defensive Vileplume, he's used a physically defensive Vileplume. So I was just going off the top of my head, it's like, which one is he using? And the two attempts I made at it was the Heat Wave from the Honchkrow and the Scold from the Slowbro. Both were good because I got to scout out what it was, but at the same time kind of bad because the misplays kind of made a bit of a difference. But anyways guys, that's pretty much it and all my thoughts on my end of the battle. A lot of you guys may have already seen this battle from Pimp's channel as well. So anyways guys, I'm going to try and put out another Wi-Fi Wednesday. So when you guys see this, I would say the next battle will be out in either an hour or 2 hours from now, depending on when I get this one up. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. And until then, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao.